Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here and today I'm sharing with you my reading plans for the coming weeks. Now, a while ago on my channel, before Christmas, I was doing things called weekly wrap-ups and weekly targets when I was on point with my filming and editing and kind of my reading actually, to be fair. And it took a dip, kind of fell a little bit slumpish after my very bad attempt at Bookmas essentially, and that was the last of it. So I thought I would share with you the books that I'm planning to read in the next couple of weeks because I go on holiday soon. Again, I know I've just come back. I'm going to do this every time I wear this. I don't have my watch on. I have just come back from holiday and I'm going on another one in a couple of weeks. So these are my reading plans between now and then. So I'm just going to share with you the ones that I'm currently in the middle of reading and go from there, because ultimately my reading plans change pretty much on a daily basis. So without further ado, let's get into the ones I'm planning to read pretty much immediately. So the first one I have to show you is The Outsider by Stephen King. I'm currently 120 pages into this, and yes, I own the paperback and the hardback edition. Sue me. This one is one of Stephen King's latest releases, and to be honest, I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm 120 pages into it. A lot has happened already and I'm expecting a lot more to continue to happen. This follows our main character who is essentially a suspect for a murder. Not just any murder, it's a murder of a young boy who has been violently murdered, is all I'm going to say, because it's Stephen King. If you're expecting a nice little, oh, he just stabbed him, nah, he just shot him, nah, it's Stephen King, you'd be wrong. So this follows our main character Terry. He's not really the main character, he's the suspect in all of this, who is the suspect for the murder of this little boy. However, he has an airtight alibi. The only problem with this airtight alibi is that there's a lot of evidence going against him, and it's like, how can he be in two places at once? Like, just how? I'm 120 pages in, things are really starting to kick off in terms of trying to realise that actually, you know what? He might have a point. How can he be in two places at once? Are we looking at the killer? Are we looking at, like, somebody who just looks like him? What? So yes, very much enjoying this, and this is my bag to work read. So I read this on a morning before work, and if I'm commuting I'll read it, but at the minute I'm 120 pages in, really enjoying it, and would really recommend it for fans of obviously Stephen King. This next one that I'm currently in the middle of I bought last weekend, and that is Alice by Christina Henry. This is the first I think she ever released pretty much in her retellings kind of series. It's not so much a series as more of a kind of like set of stories, so it's not a series but it is a series, and the first two are Alice and Red Queen. I think that's what it's called. That's a duology, and then she's also released Peter Pan, The Little Mermaid, and I think there's another one in there too, but anyway, that's besides the point. This is a retelling of Alice, and Alice is essentially like a mental institution when we first picked this one up, and she's friends with someone called Hatcher, who she's never really met other than sort of speaking to him through the hole in the wall. He's in the cell next to her, and they have a nice friendship, and then one night there's a fire at the hospital, and Hatcher basically says, come with me if you want to live, essentially is the gist of it. She goes with Hatcher, and things get a little bit weird from there. So I am 79 pages into this one, and I've mentioned this in my book haul. I don't know, I think my book haul's going up after this because I've done another book haul. I know there's a lot of book hauls on this channel right now. Really sorry for the spam, but I've been buying books like there's no tomorrow. Case closed. I've mentioned this in another video. If it's going up after this, then this is, I would personally say that there is a trigger warning in this. If you don't think you should know about trigger warnings, fair enough, but I know if I was somebody who found this kind of thing not terrifying, but yes, terrifying, like it's something that made me feel really uncomfortable, I would want to know about it. But there is a hint at sexual assault and abuse and rape. Talking about bruises on her legs. Let me just find it. I don't know if I was in that situation, as in like if this was something that triggered me, I would want to know just so I could mentally prepare myself for it. I had read this and kind of had to double back, and I was like, hang on a minute, this is making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Have I just read that right? Right, okay, so I found it. So if you do not want to know about this, that's fine, skip this part. I will hold the book like this when I'm done, but this is just a heads up for the kind of, this is the trigger warning basically. She gets a good look at the state of herself. There was a large purple bruise around the slight curve of her right breast and abrasions down her stomach and thighs. There were matching purple finger marks on the sides of her legs and the tops of her feet were scraped raw. Yes, so I feel that that is some sort of sexual assault and abuse. There were marks on her thighs, on her breast and down her stomach, as if to say that she had basically been assaulted, pretty much, sexually. So I kind of had to take a minute back and go, whoa, hang on a second. And then there was also something else that was a little bit problematic, and I don't know if that's just how the character's mother is meant to come across. She's really, really fatphobic in this, to the point where I say fatphobic as a larger girl, as a larger woman. This kind of made me go, ugh, would you really need to put that in? And it says something about the rolls on the woman. She's not curvy, it's the rolls, hideous rolls or something like that. And I was just like, really? If you took away that aspect of it, if you took that little portion out, I don't know if that's just how we're meant to feel about Alice's mother, or if that's something that the author feels or whatever, but if you took that tiny little snippet out and pulled it away and got rid of the fat phobia that I feel is fat phobia, I would have really, really enjoyed what I've read so far. So yeah, I am enjoying it. Other than those 2 points, I am enjoying it, and I'm aiming to get this done in the coming week. And the final one that I'm aiming to get to is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've said this a billion times, I need to read this. I've read no more than the last time. I'm still on page 78. Oopsies! But I have a weekend to myself next weekend. I think I have plans on the Saturday afternoon, potentially, possibly the Saturday morning if I need to work. But I have a free house on the Friday night. This does not mean everyone can come around for a party because nobody's watching this anyway. I have a free house on the Friday night, and I'm free on the Sunday until Dan gets back. He's away for a stag do. So I have a house to myself pretty much. So my plan for the following weekend is to just read all of these, get some more of this read because it's 900 pages. I honestly don't think I'll be able to get the whole thing read in the weekend unless I literally just do not move from my bed and read. I am intending on reading a bit more of this, and yeah, it's been so long since I picked this one up. I need to find my sticky tabs actually. It's been so long since I picked this one up, and I just want to get back into it to find out what all the fuss is about. There we have it. Those are the 3 books that I am intending on reading in the coming weeks. I know for a fact that once this is finished and I've tidied a little bit more, I am going to probably just sit down and read a couple of pages here and there and try and get some reading in. But let me know in the comments down below if you are intending on reading any of those, or if you have read any of those. I know a lot of you will have read the first one easily. They're very similar but also very different, if that makes sense. But let me know in the comments down below if you have any reading plans for the coming weeks. I would love to chat with you all in the comments, and I shall see you all soon with another video. My links to my Goodreads, my Twitter, my Instagram, all that lovely stuff are down below if you do want to chat to me on any other social platform. Basically, I'm happy to make friends if you're happy to make friends. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are reading, and I shall see you all soon in another video. Bye!